Hello everyone, this is Lee the Appraiser for another episode of Amazing Appraising taking place in our brand new gallery on the beautiful 57th Street in New York City. As you see the passerbys walk by, it's almost live, I'm live, and we have a very interesting item that just walked through the door. So there was a very famous singer, I think he was born in 1947 and he passed just recently. Everyone knows him by the name of Meatloaf. His original name was Michael Leaday, and he became very famous for this album that I think sold over 65 million records. It's called Bat Out of Hell. There were a couple other variations of the Bat theme, I believe. And what we have here is a very beautiful album cover in absolutely mint condition, signed and dedicated to someone here. We'll get into that in a second. And we also have the original album here with the sleeve with some interesting notations on one of the sides here. So it's John, right? Yeah. John, just come here for a second. Just for my few audience members that would like to meet you. So what we have here is an album that appears to be, it says, to Reuben, Rockin' Meatloaf. And all signed what appears to be in a black pen. It didn't look like it worked very well as he made some impressions. You don't really see the A too much of the word meat. But anyhow, John, here's our guest who came in with this beautiful album. He sold numerous things to us in the past. So tell me, we have this beautiful album, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. It says, to Reuben, Rockin' Meatloaf. So tell me, who was Reuben?
Reuben was my father. He was a loudspeaker manufacturer in the 1980s and before, famous for one of the most expensive speaker systems on the market at the time.
Was he an independent manufacturer of speakers?
Yeah, he was a speaker pioneer.
Speaker pioneer.
Yeah,
like
he was in
pioneer speaker.
Yeah, he was in the industry for many years, and he actually had 3 different companies.
Interesting.
Argus X, Psychoacoustics, and finally simply Gus Speakers.
So as you were saying, your father probably, he was in the speaker business, high quality manufacturing. He probably sold one to.
I don't know that he did sell one to
Okay.
Meatloaf, but he certainly did more than likely listen to speakers, speaker demonstration, which is why it was signed to my father instead of to my mother.
And who was your mom?
My mother was a voice teacher, and she worked with Meatloaf for about 6 weeks, if memory serves. I don't know if it was specifically for the album or perhaps for the tour, but she did work with him, and that's how it came to be in my possession.
So it's conceivable that he actually gave it to your father, but did it for your mom, right? I mean, I guess that might be an appropriate way of saying it.
Right.
And how did your mom address him? Did she say Mr. Loaf? how did she address him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was very little at the time, and I don't know if I actually ever met him myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So little at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyhow, so we have this beautiful piece. I love things that have a history, that have a personal attachment to it. Again, some people would prefer it not to be personalized. To me, I like the personalization. It adds to the character. It adds to the originality. It's also much less likely that somebody's going to forge something or fake something when they go to the trouble of personalizing it. And if you look closely here, by the way, what also makes sense is the fact that he writes Rockin' Meatloaf in script. So he's used to writing that. But when it comes to the personalization, he might say, in fact, you know what, I just thought something. I don't know if your parents told you this, but I just thought something. Your mom could have maybe got it for your father. To me, that makes the most sense.
Possible.
That Mrs. Is it Gus or what's your last name? We'll say whatever. Mrs. Smith said, "Here, Mr. Meatloaf, how about you give this to my father and to my husband? I'm sorry, and his first name is Reuben." So Meatloaf went to the trouble of spelling this out in cap letters because he wanted to do it slow, methodically, and make sure it's correct. So to me, that's a nice little match there, and that's why I also like it. It's script here. Personalized, wants to make sure he spelled it right, etc., etc. And we have the album back here. Again, this was his #1 selling thing, 65 million albums sold. Now, the album sleeve are interesting. I like to try to figure everything out. under the, it looks like the song here, Let the Altar Shine. There's a pencil mark that says G. Looks like Lusky.
Husky, I think.
Huh?
You see?
Husky, Lusky.
I think they're supposed to be husky.
And how? Why do you think that?
I think it was more than likely instructions for how to set the amplifier, but I honestly don't know.
So why would it be written up to G Husky? Assuming that's the case. Like why? What do you mean? I lost you. Where are there instructions about an amplifier related to G Husky?
It has to do with speaker demonstration. My father probably used the album for speaker demonstration.
So this is written by your father? Is your guess?
It's my guess.
Okay.
It could. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
As I said,
Whatever.
I was a child at the time, and so
Okay.
I don't have a lot of answers.
Okay. You have a lot of questions, right?
I have a lot of questions, but not a lot of
We all do.
answers.
We all do. That's life. Okay. I would put the value on this piece somewhere based on this nice little history, based on the fact that unfortunately he just passed away. I think he died of COVID, right? Complications. I think that's what they said. He was about, I think he's 73 years old, I think. Anyhow, so I would put the estimated retail value on a piece like this somewhere about $400 to $500. That would be my guess. And if you guys have any other questions about music memorabilia, you want anything appraised or sold or whatever, please contact us, email us, and we will be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, that would be under, I guess you can text us at 917-439-9610 or all our social media channels. This is Lee the Appraiser signing off till next time.